Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't tell by the title, in today's video I'm going to be sharing a few things that I learned in my first year of marriage. So our first anniversary is actually in 2 weeks. Our anniversary is July 8th. We've been together about 3 years, but this is going to be our first wedding anniversary. So I'm very excited. We're actually going away on a little trip / vacation for our anniversary, so that's why I'm doing this video now and not later. So it hasn't been quite a year yet, but it almost has. So I wrote down 7 things that I have learned during my first year, and I'm just going to share those and talk a little bit about them. So hopefully you enjoy, and if you want to keep watching, just keep on doing that, and let's get started.
Are you ready for it?
So the first thing that I wrote down is teamwork makes the dream work. And I know that saying is like so overused, but it really is true, because so many times like when people get married, they just kind of like do their own thing and just expect it to just be like a natural transition. Our transition was pretty natural, but it definitely was really weird, like, oh, it's not just me now, like I can't just go and like go buy something just because I want to, like, hey, let me run it past my husband, see if we have the money, if I can buy something, or doing chores and everything, because we both hate doing the dishes and we don't have a dishwasher. Well, we have a dishwasher, but it only works half the time, so we just hand wash the dishes. So I'm like, of course I married somebody who hates doing the dishes just as much as I do, but it really is good to know that we can like share it and just like doing things together, basically. Just, you know, it's you and your spouse, not just you anymore. So you know what, teamwork does make the dream work. The second thing that I wrote down is you aren't going to satisfy each other, only God will. And I really learned this one a lot this past year. If you grow up in church or you've been to church, you know that people tell you like, oh, only God will satisfy you, kind of thing. And it is very true. A lot of times, especially now in this day and age, people come in with like expectations, like because they watch all these romantic movies and everything, Instagram couples and people on YouTube and all these different married couples that you see in pop culture kind of thing. And you just come in with these expectations like, oh, I hope he treats me like so-and-so treats their wife. I found myself a lot of times doing that, and like not even intentionally or anything, especially girls. Like I know guys have like some expectations, but like us girls, man, do we have expectations. Like I didn't even realize it. So the only person that's going to completely satisfy you is God. And I really learned that this past year, and I'm still learning it, because you know, when you come in with expectations, it's really hard to just kind of like push those aside and just be like, you know what, this is who I married and I'm not going to try to change him, and he's not like those girls' husbands or boyfriends or whatever. Only God can satisfy, ladies. The third thing that I wrote down is make room for quality time. And sorry, there's my loud fridge. But this one is very important, especially when you're in the hustle and bustle just of life. And it just seems like you're busy all the time, because right now we're in a season where it's just so busy for us. We have so many things going on. So it's very important to make sure you're spending quality time together, even if it's just, you know, like going out and getting ice cream, or going on a little date, or sitting and watching a movie, or just, you know, just like sitting down and just talking together, praying together, that kind of thing. It is so important. Those times are some of the sweetest times, when I just can just be with my husband and talk to him and just have a good time and enjoy his company. So always make that time together, even if it's really hard. You can always just squeeze in just maybe like a few hours just to really, you know, get to know your partner even more than you already thought you did, because you can never know them enough. You're gonna always keep learning things about your partner. The fourth thing that I wrote down is adulting is much easier when you're learning how to do it with your best friend. And that is so true, because as most of you know, if you're subscribed to me or you know me in real life, I got married at 18 years old. I am 19 now, obviously, because it's been a year. We didn't really live outside of our parents' houses, so we really had to learn how to do things together. And we're still learning, because like we are young and this is our first year of marriage, learning how to do taxes and handling the money and just bills and all that kind of stuff. Like learning how to do it together, I feel is like so much easier, because I know if I had to do it all by myself, I probably would be a stressed out mess. Like, who wouldn't be? Like, adulting is stressful and hard, and sometimes it's just like but learning how to do it with the most amazing man in the whole world has been an awesome experience. The fifth thing that I wrote down is, if you're not seeking the Lord in your own time, your marriage can/will start to crumble. And this is really important, because I have noticed the times when like I go like a week without doing my devotions, or a few days or something like that. Like if I'm just really busy and I'm not really making time for the Lord in my own time, I'm easier to just snap on my husband, or I'm just like grumpy or just not in a good mood, and it really affects my day. If you're not in a right heart with the Lord, you are definitely not going to be in a right heart with your spouse. Marriage is a picture of our relationship with Jesus. The sixth thing that I wrote down, I'm sure you hear this everywhere, communication is key. It really is. I can't even tell you how many times we've had disagreements or little like arguments or something over communication or communicating. It is so important to like run things by your spouse. Hey, I'm gonna go buy this, just letting you know that's why this amount of money is missing from the bank account, or I'm gonna go do this with my friends, do we have anything going on? Like, if you just go and do your own thing, you're gonna like butt heads. You need to communicate to your spouse how you feel, even if it's uncomfortable. Something is bothering you, even if it's littlest thing you feel like, you need to communicate that, because it's gonna cause so many disagreements, arguments, and it's not good. So you really need to learn how to communicate even when it's uncomfortable. You're in it for life, and you gotta learn how to talk to each other, communicate, all that good stuff. The last thing that I wrote down is always speak kindly about your spouse to others. And I always like heard of people like who put down their spouse to other people, and I didn't really like think that I did that. But you know, you can like sometimes catch yourself, like somebody can just like, you know, like poke fun at your spouse, and like maybe you'll join in. You know, like when somebody's joking around, or even like, don't join in on that, even if it's like something like silly. Like, you always want to make sure you're speaking kindly towards your spouse and about your spouse, because you know your spouse is your best friend, and you don't want to be putting them down even if you're not intentionally trying to. So always just like examine your heart before you say something. That's really hard for me, because sometimes I say things and it's just kind of like word poop or something. I don't know. So those are the 7 things that I wrote down. This past year has just been a really good year, honestly, and I know a lot of people have said like the first year of marriage is the hardest, and I mean, I've only been married for 1 year, but I feel like even though we've had our times that have been pretty difficult and stuff like that, it's been a very sweet year, just getting to be together and learning more about Jared. So I don't know, I think it's been a great year, and I'm so excited to celebrate together. And yeah, maybe I'll insert some wedding pictures just in case, because I don't think I've really like shown too many wedding pictures on my channel, but I'll insert a few. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications whenever I post, because we are going to be making a video about our love story soon, and hopefully I will post that before our anniversary, hopefully. And so you guys can see how this started and leading up to now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this, leave a like, and once again, subscribe. And if you're married, or even if you're not married, comment something that you've learned in your marriage, or if you're single, comment something that you're looking forward to about marriage if you got this far. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and Lord willing, I will see you guys in my next video.